Good morning dear students, myself Sachin S. Pawar and I welcome you to my 8th video on Unit 5 States of Matter, Gases and Liquids. In my previous videos, I have solved problems on gas laws. One such problem is remaining to be solved. I'll solve that problem and then let's move ahead into the kinetic theory of gases. The problem which is left over is on your screen. Okay, so if you scan the problem, I had told don't read the problem, scan the problem. See, if you scan the problem, you will see they have given me the density of the gas. Density of the gas is found to be, so density is given at 27 degrees Celsius and 2 bar pressure. Calculate the molar mass and molar mass. Okay, what will be its density at STP? Okay, there are two things they have given. They have given me density 5.46 grams per cm cube, sorry, per dm cube. They have given me temperature 27 degrees Celsius. If you convert into Kelvin, it is 300.15 Kelvin, and the pressure is also given as 2 bar. And they have asked me to find out the molar mass. So do we have any relation between density, molar mass, temperature and pressure? Yes, we have derived a relation. If you remember that density is equal to Pm upon RT. If you remember the relation density is equal to Pm upon RT, we have derived. Okay, so we can use this equation and find out the density of the gas very easily. So let us use this equation and find the density of the gas. Okay, density is not given, density is given to me, so pressure is known, R is known, T is known, M can be found out. Therefore the molar mass of the gas is equal to capital M, which is equal to, I'll keep M on this side, rest all I transfer to the other side, dRT upon P. Density is given to me, I'll substitute 5.46 grams per dm cube into R. Pressure is given in bar, and here the volume unit is in dm cube, therefore we have to use the unit value of R as 0.0831 dm cube bar per Kelvin per mole into temperature is to be found out. Temperature is also given. 1 minute. So I'll just shift this here. Okay, temperature is also given as 27 degrees Celsius, that is 300.15 Kelvin. So I'll divide it by, pressure is given as 2 bar. Let's cancel the common cancelable units. Per dm cube cancels, bar cancels, per Kelvin cancels, and unit will be grams per mole. Yeah, grams per mole. So answer will be coming in grams per mole. So that is equal to grams per mole. Grams per mole. So let us calculate this. Okay, so 5.46 into 0.0831 into 300.15 divided by 2, that comes out to be 68.09. We'll take 2 decimal points, so 2 can be removed. The answer remains as 68.09. This is the molar mass of this gas. Next, they have asked me to find out the density of the gas at STP. Next, to find density of the gas at STP. Okay, now here molar mass is known to me. I need to find out density of the gas at STP. And to find out density of the gas at STP, you require the STP condition, that is, temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, that is 273.15 Kelvin, and the pressure is, we will take 1 bar. So we want this condition. Let us find the density. Again, I can use the same equation. Because now the molar mass also we have calculated. So density at STP, therefore density at STP of gas at STP will be equal to D, which is equal to PM upon R, PM upon RT. Okay, so P is known to me as 1 bar, into M we have just now found. I'll substitute 68.09 that is grams per mole, divided by R is, okay, now I have taken bar, therefore I'll take the same unit, 0.0831. okay, that is 0.0831 dm cube bar per Kelvin per mole, into temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. So I'll find out this also. So that comes out to be, okay, before that cancel the common units, bar per mole per Kelvin Kelvin. So unit will be grams per dm cube, grams per dm cube. Let me do the calculation. So it is 68.09 divided by 0.0831 divided by 273.15, that comes out to be 2.99. So if I just remove this 9, this becomes 10. Then this is 3.00 to 2 decimal point. So answer is, this is the density at STP, So I have also solved problem on this equation, right? So with this, let's move ahead into the next part of the topic, which is the kinetic theory of gases. So let's move on to the next one, that is kinetic theory of gases. Okay, for this I have a simulation for you, again the one which I have used in our previous videos. Okay, so right, so we'll move on to the postulates of kinetic theory of gases. So we are moving on to now next one, that is kinetic theory of gases. Kinetic theory of gases. Okay, now before I move on to this theory, I would like to tell you, if you peep into the paper setters' minds, that is, if you refer the previous year question papers, you will find that 99% of the papers have this question. It is asked for either 4 marks or sometimes asked for 3 marks. So it can be considered, by referring to the previous year question papers, I can say that this question is fixed for as far as your annual exam is concerned. Okay, now this kinetic theory of gases, now I told you how the theory is developed. So many scientists have performed experiments, they have got the observations, and the conclusions lead to the building of this theory. This theory is not the job of only one person. There are many scientists, namely, to name a few, we have Bernoulli, we have Clausius, we have Maxwell, we have Boltzmann, and many more contributed to this theory, and their research has made this theory into a picture. Now all these scientists have studied did many experiments, and based on the experiments they have got some conclusions, and those conclusions were stated and they are accepted in the scientist community, and the statements which are there in this theory were known as postulates or assumptions. Postulates or assumptions, and these are assumptions, and the question usually comes is, state the postulates or assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. This is a famous question for your annual examination. Okay, so let's state these postulates. Okay, now for this, let's take this simulation. I am just pouring certain gas into this container. Okay, right? So kinetic theory of gases. Now when I say kinetic theory, kinetic means motion. Kinetic means motion. So this theory deals on the motion of the gas particles. So let us see this. What is the postulate of kinetic theory of gases? The kinetic theory of gases is postulated in different statements. So we have different points. So let's see. In all, there are 8 points to discuss. I will discuss one by one. Point number 1. Point number 1. Okay. Now, if you see this simulation, whether gases are in stationary state or they are in constant motion, then you will see that what the gas consists of. First, the gas consists of, you see, these consist of blue particles. So they say that gases consist of extremely small particles, and these particles were known as atoms or molecules. So gases consist of extremely small particles called atoms or molecules. Are these atoms stationary or they are moving? So if you just observe this simulation, you will find that the atoms or molecules, that is the particles, are in constant motion. And if you see, they are moving randomly in all possible direction. Therefore, the particles are supposed to have random motion. They move randomly in all possible direction. So they have random motion. So particles move randomly in all possible directions. They move randomly in all possible directions. And if you see any particle moving in a particular direction, it is moving in a straight line. And the direction will change. Direction of the motion will change only when it collides with that other molecule or it collides on the walls. Therefore, postulate number 3 comes out. The postulate number 3 comes out that their direction of motion changes when they collide. They have to collide either with each other or on the walls of the container. Either with each other or on the walls of the container. So the direction changes only when they collide with each other or on the walls of the container. Okay, what about collision? If I say, then you see, during collision what happens? If you just concentrate on what happens to the collision, then if you just see any two particles, when two particles collide with one another, the possibility is that the kinetic energy of one particle is given to the other. The one particle will decrease its speed and the other particle will increase its speed. Same thing happens when the particles collide on the walls of the container. But so there is exchange of energy, but that energy never goes out of this container, and therefore what we can see is that collisions are perfectly elastic. Collisions between the gas molecules are perfectly elastic. They are perfectly elastic. That means during the collision, the gas do not lose or gain any energy. there is only exchange of energy between the gas particles. There is exchange of energy between the gas particles. The gas as a whole do not lose or gain any energy, right? That is the collision. Then postulate number 5. If I go to postulate number 5, the postulate number 5 says, okay, now collision, when I say, concentrate on the collision of the walls of the container. So when I say collision on the walls of the container, then you will see when the particles collide on the walls of the container, if I increase the temperature, let me see. Okay, so when the particles collide on the walls of the container, they exert certain force on the area. Force acting per unit area is called as pressure. So how the gas exert pressure? If I say gas exert pressure, they exert pressure when or how? By when the gas particles collide on the walls of the container. Gas particles collide on the walls of the container. Collide on the walls of the container. Walls of the container. That is postulate number 5. Okay, regarding see, we are moving on kinetic. So what about their postulate number 6? What about their kinetic energy? What about their kinetic energy? And if you just see the kinetic energy, as you increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the gas particle is increasing. The molecules are moving more faster and faster. I have told this already in the earlier videos also. See, if the temperature is increased, the kinetic energy increases. So kinetic energy of the gas molecule is directly proportional to the absolute temperature of the gas. That is postulate number 6. Postulate number 6. So kinetic energy of the gas molecule is directly proportional to absolute temperature. That is point number 6. And the point number 7 now. See, we have seen pressure, we have seen kinetic energy. Now the volume. What about the volume of the gas molecules? Volume of gas molecules. Okay. Now if you just see volume of the gas molecules, all the atoms, you see the volume of the container is this, and in that if you choose any molecule, the volume of this molecule is found to be negligible compared to this total volume of the gas. Therefore the statement was given like this, that volume of the gas molecule or the atom is negligible compared to total volume of the gas, is negligible in compare to total volume of the gas. Total volume of the gas, because they assume that the particles of the gas are very small, so the small gas particle have got negligible volume compared to total volume of the gas. That was postulate number 8 given. And one more postulate was given, which is they say that there is no force of attraction. There is no force of attraction or repulsion between the gas molecules. These are the postulates of kinetic theory of gases. Let me just recall. Gases consist of extremely small particles called atoms or molecules. Particles move randomly in all possible direction. Their direction changes only when they collide with one another or on the walls of the container. When they collide on the walls, okay, the collision between them are perfectly elastic. When they collide on the walls of the container, they exert pressure. The kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Volume of the gas molecule is negligible compared to total volume of the gas. And the last postulate is there is no force of attraction or repulsion between the gas molecules. Now in this postulate, as you have pointed out rightly, and it is there in your mind, that what about this postulate? There is no force of attraction or repulsion between the gas molecule. They have given this postulate, but we have learnt that there are van der Waals forces of attraction between the gas particles. There are van der Waals forces between the gas particles. They are dipole-dipole attraction, then induced dipole attraction, dipole-induced dipole attraction, dispersive forces, hydrogen bonding. Then what about this statement? Then this statement is wrong. This is the first incorrect statement of kinetic theory of gases. It is modified by van der Waal, and that we have already seen the van der Waal forces. There is one more statement which is half truth, that is number 7. See, they say that volume of the gas molecule is negligible compared to total volume of the gas. Now if you see here, the particle is very small and we have taken a very big volume. So in comparison with the particle size, the volume of the gas is very large. Therefore we can say that yes, the volume of the gas molecule can be neglected compared to total volume of the gas. However, suppose that same gas molecule I take in a container whose volume is very small. In that case, the volume of the gas is very small. And when the volume of the gas is very small, the volume of the molecule which is there, or the atom which is there, cannot be neglected, because in comparison with the volume of the gas, the volume of the molecule also has to be taken into consideration. Therefore, when the volume of the gas is very small, when the volume of the gas is very small, the particle size in comparison with the total volume cannot be neglected, and that is why this postulate number 7 is a half truth. It should be applicable only when the volume of the gas is large, but when the volume of the gas is small, the volume of the molecule cannot be neglected. So this is wrong thing, or I can say it is a half truth. So here we have two wrong postulates of kinetic theory of gases. In examination, sometimes they ask you, give any two wrong postulates of kinetic theory of gases. And we have these two wrong postulates. Volume of the gas molecule is negligible compared to total volume of the gas, and there is no force of attraction between gas molecules. That is, these two are the wrong postulates. Who corrected these? Van der Waal corrected this. So they may ask you, give the corrected postulates of kinetic theory of gases. So if you want to give corrected postulates of kinetic theory of gases, the postulate number 7 and 8 need to be modified. So modified versions are: 1. Volume of the gas molecules, that is atoms or molecules, cannot be neglected compared to total volume of the gas. Is the corrected version. And second one is, there are forces of attraction and repulsion between the gas molecules. So these are corrected postulates of kinetic theory of gases. So this is about the postulates of kinetic theory of gases. Now these postulates of kinetic theory of gases were gives us an idea further, the last part of this today's topic. These postulates of kinetic theory of gases gives us a equation which is not there in syllabus for your this annual examination. It is not given in the government text. That is the kinetic gas equation. And that kinetic gas equation is PV is equal to 1 by 3 nmc square, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, N is number of mole, M is the mass of the particle, and C is the RMS velocity. What is this? I will tell you in a moment. Okay, this equation is derived using the postulates of kinetic theory of gases. Based on this, or using this equation, all the gas laws were derived. In fact, derivation of these gas laws using this equation is not there in syllabus, but for your competitive exam like IIT and all those things, you require this equation. I'm just mentioning this equation. Okay, so in this equation one term has come, that is velocity of the gas, velocity or speed of the gas particles, velocity or speed of gas molecules. Now here the velocity or speed of gas molecule is, you know what is velocity? It is change of displacement per unit time. It is distance traveled per unit time, you know it as velocity. And here in our chemistry we are basically interested in three types of velocities. We have average velocity, sometimes we use average velocity, we sometimes use most probable velocity for calculation, and most of the time we use RMS velocity. I hope you know the difference between velocity and speed. When I say speed, velocity is a vector quantity, speed is a non-directional. Okay, so we have average velocity. The symbols or notations are mu average, mu most probable, and mu RMS. Okay, so let us define these velocities. What do you mean by average velocity? What do you mean by average velocity? Let's see. Average, word to word meaning, average. Suppose in the container I have got n number of molecules. Just say we have n number of molecules. N number of molecules are there in the container. Just imagine. Okay. Then you see every gas molecule have got different velocities. Just see. When they collide, there is an exchange of energy, so every particle do not have same kind of speed, but as a whole, bulk as a whole, the gas particles have a same speed. So average velocity we have to take into consideration. So average means what? Suppose V1, V2, V3 and so on, Vn are the velocities of individual gas molecule number 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Then if I want to find out the average velocity, the definition of average velocity is you need to take the average of this, and to take the average of this, you know, we have to simply add all the individual velocities and divide it by the total number. So average velocity is defined as the average of, it is the average of the individual velocities of gas molecules. This is the definition. Okay, now I had told you just now that one equation was there. That equation is PV is equal to 1 by 3 NMC square. This equation is used and they have deduced one equation for this average velocity, and this you may need for your not for final exam, for your competitive exam. Just mentioning it, that is square root of 8 RT by pi m, where 8 R is universal gas constant, T is absolute temperature, pi is 22 by 7, m is the molar mass. So this is the equation for average velocity. Most probable velocity. Now if you just see in this all the gases, most of the gases, out of all the majority of the gas molecules, most of the gas molecule possess some amount of energy. That's why we say the gas as a whole have same speed. So the velocity possessed by majority of the gas molecule is known as the most probable velocity. The velocity possessed by majority of the gas molecules is known as most probable velocity, and it is obtained by an equation, again using the equation which I have told you, PV is equal to 1 by 3 mc square. They have derived the value of most probable velocity, and the most probable velocity is given by an equation square root of 2RT by m. 2RT by capital M, where R is universal gas constant, capital T is temperature in Kelvin scale, and capital M is the molar mass. Similarly, the last unit is there, that is, okay, so we have most probable velocity, we have average velocity. Now the last one is RMS velocity. When I say RMS velocity, it is the long form. RMS stands for root of mean of squares of individual velocities of gas molecules. Okay, RMS, root of the mean of the squares. So we'll take the squares of all individual velocities. Suppose V1, V2, V3 and so on, Vn are the individual velocities. Then the squares of those, then we need to take squares of those, then we will take the mean of the squares. That means we have to add all these and divide it by the total number, and then I will take the root of this. So root of the mean of the squares of the individual velocities is called as RMS velocity. And using the equation PV is equal to 1 by 3 nmc square, as I told, they have also derived the value of this RMS velocity, and the RMS velocity is derived as square root of 3RT by m. 3RT by m, and this gives the values for most probable velocity, RMS velocity and average velocity, and this completes our postulates of kinetic theory of gases. Before I conclude my today's class, let me just go with the comparison of these three velocities. So we have most probable velocity, okay, we have the average velocity, most probable velocity, and RMS velocity, that is root mean square velocity. For average velocity, you see average velocity, the formula is square root of 8RT by m, pi m, sorry. Most probable velocity, the value is square root of 2RT by m. We can use this in competitive exam for finding these values also. And RMS velocity is 3RT by capital M. How they come, it is not necessary. They are not there in your government text. In the government text, at the last part of the book, part 1 book, they have given this. So I'm explaining this. Okay, so here you see the ratio of these. If I just find out the ratio of these, then you will find the ratio calculated. The ratio is, so if I take the ratio of these, the ratio will become root 8 by pi is to root 2 is to root 3. If I divide the entire thing by RT by m common, and if I just find out these values, then it is root, okay, it is 1 by 1.128 is to 1 is to 1.224. So here, if I just have to see which is the highest value, then I will say that then you need to remember that the most probable velocity is the highest value, then comes the average velocity, then comes the RMS velocity. That's it. This is regarding the kinetic theory of gases. Now, based on kinetic theory of gases, we can conclude some points. So those points I will take and then I'll stop. Some questions on kinetic theory of gases. First question: how gas exerts pressure? how gas exerts pressure. This is the first question. So does the kinetic theory of gases give the answer? Yes, the kinetic theory of gases gives me the answer. It says pressure, postulate number 5. Gas exerts pressure when the particles of the gas collides on the walls of the container. So the molecules or atoms collide on the walls of the container and they exert pressure. That is how the gas exerts pressure. Next question. There is one more question. Gases do not have fixed volume and shape. Why? Now answer for this I have already explained you in my previous videos, but using these postulates, if you just say, then you see random motion of the particle is the main reason. Because of random motion of particles, the particles are not there stationed at a particular space, and there is a lot of empty space created, therefore they do not have fixed volume and fixed shape. So another reason for the particles, the gas not to have a fixed volume is and fixed shape is that the random motion of the gas particles. Okay, fine. And one more question, the last question I'll take. On heating the gas at constant volume, pressure increase. Why? Give reason. Now I'm asking you a question here. Why? On heating the gas at constant volume, pressure increase. On heating the gas at constant volume. Okay, let's check. I'll keep the volume constant here. So I have just restricted the external pressure on the gas. So what happens if I increase the, okay, on heating, if I heat, what happens? Just check what happens. When you heat, the kinetic energy of the gas molecules increase. When I heat, okay, I'll just show you once again. Volume is kept constant. I'll just put some gas particles in this. Okay, so when the temperature of the gas particles is increased, the kinetic energy of the gas molecule increase. When the kinetic energy of the gas molecule increase, the particles collide on the walls of the container faster, and the pressure from inside pressure increase, and that can be understood by this simulation. See, as the temperature increase, the speed of the molecules increasing, the molecules move, collide on the walls with high speed, and a stage will reach that the kinetic energy becomes so high that the entire container breaks up, the container explodes. So it is a clear indication that on heating the gas, the kinetic energy of the gas molecules increase, and this in turn increase the force acting per unit area on the wall of the container, and that is why the pressure increases. So these are some of the applications of the kinetic theory of gases, and that way we have come to the end of the today's class. Just go through the what I have discussed. You have any difficulties in this, you can ask me. You can send me a message, or you can give me a mail in my Google Classroom. Thank you. I'll stop here.